Oh shit. Oh, we're live on YouTube.
Yeah, live on YouTube. Hold on, it's not officially live though. It's setting up the meeting and everything.
No, we're not doing this.
Sorry, too late, man. We already
Yeah,
there.
I'm out.
Okay. Well then, I mean, you can leave while you're live on the air.
Just like pull my camera and I'm out.
Well, Anthony, you know, lead the pack, man.
I don't want to do this. This is not okay. No, we're live on YouTube.
We are definitely live on YouTube.
All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the WWE Monday Night Raw review hosted by the Three Count Podcast. My name is Lou, aka The Franchise. With me, as always, I got my best friend, the man, the leader of the Dog Pound, Mr. Clifford Red Dog Miller.
Oh yeah, live catchphrase. That's all I got.
You did that yesterday. You need a new one.
I need to get some new stuff. I need to get new material. I really do.
So today we're gonna walk down the review of Monday Night Raw from last night and go from there. Kind of give us our what we thought about it. So starting off the show, we had Randy Orton coming out and cutting a promo stating that he's done so much that he needs handed the WWE title, but since he's gonna have to he'll play by the rules and he'll go through the hoops and win his triple threat qualifier match, win the triple threat, and then beat Drew McIntyre at the next pay-per-view for the WWE title. Then he gets interrupted by Keith Lee. And Keith Lee is a big man who just beat Randy Orton at the last pay-per-view. And Keith Lee came out and said, I think I need to be handed this title shot because even though you are the greatest or one of the greatest, I pinned you. So I should be in line for a WWE title.
Yeah, he did. And it's one thing about Keith Lee, man. I really enjoy watching him do his thing, man. Like, I know like people have like are against like his new music and stuff, and I get it. I'm with you guys on it, but I don't really mind anything else, man. Like he has to wear a shirt. Okay, we know that Vince doesn't really like big men like that look like they're out of shape, even though we know that's not the case with Keith Lee. But he likes them like to look fit. But man, Keith came out there and any other person who would have cut this promo, I probably would have bashed them and told them that they were like terrible. But it's Keith Lee, man. Like I can't do that with Keith Lee.
He's so calm when he does his promos. He's Mr. Orton and he's all polite about it, but he's so intimidating because of how big he is.
Yeah, he's a presence. He's a very big presence. I love him.
So then what happens next is Randy Orton kind of leaves the ring and then Keith Lee gets attacked by Dolph Ziggler from behind and we go to commercial and then that sets up the first triple threat qualifier match between Keith Lee and Dolph Ziggler. During that match, Dolph Ziggler used a lot of speed to overcome the power of Keith Lee. But in the end, after getting bulldozed, Keith Lee was able to use his power bomb, set out power bomb. I don't even what is that called, Cliff?
The Spirit Bomb.
Spirit bomb. He used that to get the pin. So Keith Lee is now in the main event of Raw in the triple threat match. What were your thoughts on that match, Cliff?
Yeah, the only thing I have a problem with that is that if you were intending to have Keith Lee move on to the next round into the main event, it should have been a squash match. It shouldn't have been like, that he was going to get in a lot of offense. I think that was my biggest issue with the match. I get it's Dolph Ziggler, but Dolph is going to sell like a whole bunch of offense for you anyway. So there should be no reason why he needs to get offensive in. And plus, attacking from behind, I wish that Keith would have just like taken the shot and just kind of like walked off. But it is what it is, man. But overall, I thought the match was good, and I was excited to see Keith get another victory, man.
Absolutely. So then we go to the backstage where we are getting an interview with Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler after they showed the Raw Women's Tag Team at Payback, and we have new champions. And they cut a promo, and Nia Jax took mostly. They bickered. They bickered. They Nia Jax said that she did a lot of the work, and Shayna listened to her and followed her lead, and Shayna said no. You did what I said and stayed out of my way, and I used Bailey or Sasha to tap out Bailey, and then a surprise interruption by the champ Asuka. Asuka demanding to find out who she's going to be facing at the next pay per view. What are your thoughts on that, Cliff?
I love Asuka. Like, I make it no secret that if you look at the power rankings, anytime that Asuka's in there, she's normally at the top of the power rankings. I just feel like everything she does, man, is just hilarious. I really am hyped about Shayna, and I know like we're gonna talk about this because spoiler for those who didn't know, Nia and Shayna Baszler won the women's tag titles. We'll talk more about it on Sunday show because we'll probably go live for that one too. But it was super cool to see. I was very much into it. And just seeing Shayna cut her promo and like they had like that bickering heel versus heel. I kind of feel like I'm watching Team Hell No, like go back at it. You know, that whole like, I'm the tag team champions. No, I'm the tag team champions. And like they're doing that whole thing. But I did like Asuka finally just putting her foot down, saying, no, like I'm the champ, you know, and then you guys gonna listen to me. And then, you know, we got the stare down. So I kinda dug it.
Yep. Then we had a commercial, and coming back from a commercial, we had WWE producer Adam Pearce talking to a group of his security guards and letting them know that Retribution ruined last week's Raw, and if they do it again, that they're all fired, and they all gave him a yes, sir. And then we had Charlie Caruso in the ring as she introduced the Raw Women's Champion Asuka to the ring. Asuka's been demanding to find out who her next challenger is, since she beat Becky Lynch and Sasha. And then what happened next, Cliff? Mickey James came out, right?
Oh, Mickey James. She's so awesome. Like I made that no secret either, man. I'm a huge fan of Mickey James. And the chick with the kick, man, she's so much fun to watch like do her thing. I have no anything that she does, man. I'm upset with the first couple matches that Dave given her where she had like the count out loss. I thought that was a terrible way to return her. But then seeing her come back into this match, I was definitely excited. I love Mick. I can't say enough about her.
Yeah, definitely. Then she was interrupted by Natalia and Lana Day. Um, and they came out, said that she was delusional and that she's been wearing the same clothes since 1998, and that Lana is a transcender, and her new best friend Natalia and her would have to go through them to get. Or Lana said that she would Mickey would have to go through Lana to get to Mickey James.
Yeah, Lana's not very good at promos. We've established this like throughout the years. Like she forgets her lines all the time, and then she just like says random things. To include the fact that she mentioned that line, and you could tell like creative wasn't paying attention because they wrote that line out about Mickey James wearing the same clothes since 1998, and then she's not wearing like the calf strap things that she's always wearing. It was like Lana never thinks on the fly. She just like says it's on the paper and then still fucks it up, messes it up. I'm sorry, YouTube. Don't demonetize us, even though we make no money on this.
Now we are PG-17. Thanks a lot, Cliff.
Now we're gonna get strike. We're gonna get hit with the strike.
So then Lana and Natalia attack Mickey James and Asuka, and then they go to commercial. When they get back from commercial, they talk about we go to commercial. Then what happened? According to my notes, I think I'm wrong though. According to my notes, they go to commercial and they go to the pediatric Connor's Cure promo. But I thought that we had Lana Day we had Lana versus Mickey before that.
So when we got back from commercial, we did have Connor's cure. That was definitely the next thing that was up. And the superstars talking about tomorrow superstars or superstars of tomorrow, like that whole promo thing. I'm not gonna lie, I really am about this. I find it so endearing that WWE is still like doing their thing with WWE. Obviously, it's to help you know drive awareness for pediatric cancer. But yes, that's exactly what was coming up. And then right afterwards, the Hurt Business watched or wrecked. They were talking about how they wrecked the Underground. Yeah, and then they went to Cedric backstage with the Viking Raiders, and then Demi Burnett from The Bachelor. Why is she still there? I don't care. So anyway, she talked about how she was impressed with Cedric for turning down the Hurt Business, and then she went on to say that she gave Ivar a kiss, and that she liked him, and then Angel Garza kind of appeared from behind the scenes with like a rose and was just like smiling, and then we jumped into the Lana versus Mickie James match.
Yep, and there we had not a lot of botches, I guess. There was some botches, but um, from there we had Lana versus Mickie James, and with Oscar at the commentary, and Lana was working Mickie over in the corner. Got a slam, got a 2 count, and then was and got slammed by Mickie. Then she went to the rope and suckered Mickie in, and then she kicked Mickie in the gut. Then Mickie got her with the kick and got the win.
Yep, it was a thing.
After that, we seen Natalya on her knees, and Asuka stands up with Mickie, who's still in the ring. But then we go to the Aleister Black attacking Kevin Owens last week. Charlie Caruso's backstage in the locker room, talking about the Black Owens issue. Then Randy suddenly comes out of the locker room from Aleister Black, and then we cut to commercial. What were your thoughts? What were your thoughts when you seen that come? Was it readable?
With Aleister?
Yeah.
Like when he came out like to interfere with
No. When with Randy Orton coming out of Aleister's locker room.
Oh, you kind of already knew like something was gonna happen just because like it's two heels like talking and kind of plotting things out. Though I'm not gonna lie, man, I did like it though.
Yep. So then we come back, and then we had the Iconics versus the Riot Squad, but they're not called. I mean, they're not really called Live Riot Squad no more. They're Liv Morgan and Ruby Riot. The winner gets a tag team title shot, and the losers are no more. They're split up.
They are called Liv and Riot. That's what they're called. That's their tag team name. Talk about, okay, you know what? Like, whatever it is, man, the Riot Squad, like, I get, right? Like, it's not the Riot Squad anymore, but I like that name 10 times better than Liv and Riot. Like, I can't do it. I can't do it this tag team. I can't do it with that team.
Agreed. They had the Iconics had a promo, and they're talking about how they've been best friends for years, long before their WWE careers. Their one consistent has always been each other, and they won't let some snot-nosed hooligans break them up, and they will take the tag team titles and keep them as best friends. And then they did their favorite, Iconic.
I love that pose. I'm not gonna lie. I really do. I love that pose.
So then we go back to the ring, and it's Randy Orton makes his way out, and this is where things go down as Kevin Owens is coming out because they have a match for the next spot in the main event for that triple threat match, and Aleister Black attacks Kevin Owens ringside, beats him up. and hits him with what is it? What's his black mass?
I was like, you better
Black.
get this right. It is the Black Mass, good sir.
I was gonna call it black magic, but I didn't. I knew that wasn't right. It's black mass. Throws him in the ring.
Black Magic is who we interviewed.
Yes.
What up, Black Magic?
Shout outs. Um. So then Kevin Owens can't even stand on his own 2 feet. He's wobbly. The ref is like, no, we can't. I can't do this. And Kevin Owens is like, ring the bell, ring the bell. So the referee rings the bell. Kevin takes a few swings, completely missing Randy, and Randy just hits the RKO, gets the quick pin. That match lasted under a minute. Surprisers, right?
Yeah, huge surprises. I was like, oh man, this is an amazing match for all 6 minutes that we got of it.
Was it 6 minutes of
Yeah, it
that
was like
whole
6 minute
promo?
match. Well, like from the whole jump, it was like 6 minutes, man.
Good gosh.
This is what we get.
So then we had Charlie Caruso backstage interviewing Ray and Dominic and the family. Ray talking about how he was injured during the pay-per-view, and there's not one person on earth that he would want to take his place, but Dominic. Dominic said that he knows he's the underdog, but after Payback, his confidence is on another level. Um, and then he says his confidence is on another level, and that he's got a 619 for the Monday Night Messiah written all over it. And then the Mysterio family does the whole Mexican thing, and they hug each other. That's a real thing, by the way.
Bro, I can't do this, man. I can't do like okay. I like Rey Mysterio. I like Dominic. But I want to know what happened during these contract negotiations with Rey Mysterio that all of a sudden the whole Mysterio family is like, Booyaka, we're all here. I'm like, God bless, man. Like, and then Dominic, like, because I know eventually they're going to give Dominic his own mask and he's going to be like repping the Mysterio name, by himself. But it's just like, to me, I'm like, come on, man. Like, we can do better than this, can't we?
Right. So we go to break, and then we come back, and we see how Bobby Lashley beats Apollo Crew at Payback on Sunday night, and we have Shelton Benjamin and MVP in the VIP lounge talking about how proud they were, and then they introduced the new WWE United States Champion Bobby Lashley. As he makes his way out, MVP takes the mic and talks about Apollo Crew, and then Lashley takes the mic and says he did exactly what he said he was going to do and inflict pain on Apollo Crew and win the United States Championship. And then say that, and then as they were celebrating, then Apollo Crews did a punk move and attacked him after he lost. Then Cedric Alexander's music hit, and he came down, and the Hurt Business exited the ring and met him at the entrance. There, MVP stated, "Oh, you came by yourself," or no, that he asked if he rethought their offer, and he said, "Hell no."
So we got to talk about this really quick, right? So you're mentioning this segment, right? But what we're not mentioning is what happened right before. And my problem that happened right before was, how in the hell was everybody surprised by Cedric Alexander coming out when right before MVP cut this promo with the Hurt Business and he was like, "Hey guys, we got to stop funny business. We have a 6-man tag match against Cedric Alexander and the Viking Raiders." And then they came out and they saw Cedric, like, "Oh, what happened? You come out by yourself?" And he was like, "No." Like you knew the Viking Raiders were coming out, and the heels were like, "Yeah, we're too dumb to turn around." Like, what? No, that's not how this is supposed to work.
I get it, because 90% of the time, faces don't come through the crowd and attack heels from behind like that.
Yeah, I mean, kudos, but it is what it is,
Right.
man.
So they go to commercial break and they come back to a big 6-man tag team match. Cedric Alexander and the Viking Raiders versus the Hurt Business. And it was Bobby Lashley and not Ivar, Eric, that started the match. They traded shots. Lashley got the upper hand, and MVP tagged in, double teamed in the corner. MVP loaded on Eric in the corner, and then we see some mix-ups, and then it was MVP and Cedric Alexander going at it, and this is my issue with this thing is MVP hits him with I call it the Aluma kick. That's what Sami Zayn uses. And that's Sami Zayn's finisher, but that's not good enough for a finisher for MVP. He hit him with one of those. He tries to do it again, while the Viking Raiders and Bobby and Shelton were in the on the outside of the ring, going at it. And when he went for the second kick, Apollo rolled him up and pinned him. And all MVP could do is laugh. And he stopped Shelton from jumping on Cedric Alexander and said no. They exited the ring, and the Viking Raiders entered the ring, and the Hurt Business was clapping for Cedric Alexander on getting that win.
That's all I'm gonna say about that. That's all I'm gonna say about it. My God, I don't got. My mama told me if I don't got nothing nice to say, don't say it at all.
No, I want to know what you really think about that.
Oh man, I was just like, you kind of knew like something was gonna happen, especially with MVP in the future. Like we'll talk about it in the next segment, but you kind of felt like something was gonna happen, and then the whole setup about like they're like, no, don't attack Cedric, no, it's fine. You knew something was gonna happen, and yeah, it is what it is at that point.
Yep. And then they announced that there was going to be a tornado tag team with Andrade and Angel Garza versus the Street Profits tonight to come back, and MVP and the Hurt Business were jumping Shelton Benjamin.
Yeah, like I said, we knew something was going to happen, especially because they've been talking about this angle like this whole time, and then they decided they wanted to kind of press off, so it just made sense. And then like they came and attacked Cedric afterwards. You're just kind of like, it was going to happen eventually, because like Apollo turned down Hurt Business like 3 or 4 different times, and then here you have Cedric turning down a business 3 or 4 different times. It's like they're going to go down and pick the line off, but we'll see.
Right.
We'll see what happens.
And right before then, when the cameras went off, the match that happened prior to that, you saw Titus O'Neil warming up in the Raw Underground, and then they went to break and came back to that jumping, and then we got back into the ring where we had the Iconics versus the Rights, Rod.
You mean the match that lasted like 4 minutes at best?
How about you run down that match for me?
Yeah, so there was a roll up and then a 1, 2, 3, and Iconics lost. The only tag team that matters in a women's tag division we got rid of because Vince McMahon doesn't like tag team wrestling. This is some trash.
I wasn't a fan. I wasn't a fan of the Iconics until about 6 months ago, and then I started becoming a fan of them, and now they're they're no longer together.
I have been a fan of the Iconics since they debuted on SmackDown, and it cost Charlotte her title. When they legitimately came on and they were just like, we know that we can come there and we could take that title off of you like that. And they beat Charlotte down, and then Carmella cashed in. I was like, this is how you make an entrance. And then they squashed them. They ruined the Iconics ever since then. And it was the Iconics who got themselves over, coincidentally, by doing their pose and getting everybody into it. And then, it is what it is. But then they became a comedy act, and they got over by being a comedy act. And even when they were like heels, people still loved them being a heel comedy act. And then now we decide we're going to split them up because obviously Peyton is going to have a great career. And I'm sure they're going to use Billy to be like the comedy person who gets beat all the time. But I don't know. I'm going to miss the whole part where Billy goes, "You've got to be joking."
All right, so they got one more cry in the middle of the ring, and then we go to Shane meeting his big old security guard at the entrance of the underground, and they talked a little bit about Jessamine Duke, Titus O'Neil, and then we had Apollo Crew versus Shelton on the card for the night, and Shane entered the building, and then we went to the video package with the feud between Seth Rollins and the Mysterios. So then we got back to the ring, and Seth Rollins and Murphy were come out, and Seth Rollins cuts this promo saying that Murphy, you failed me. You got pinned uh the night before to leave, and he kicked him out of the ring and kicked him backstage.
Yeah, so that was wild, man, because he was talking about how like Murphy like cost him the title or cost him his like match at Payback, and that it was that he kicks him out of the ring to go handle business on his own. But it was like, I don't know. I feel like this is kind of be like the beginning of like the dissension, and we kind of saw maybe a start back in the Performance Center a few weeks ago on Raw, where like Murphy was kind of hesitant on hitting Dominic with the kendo stick, but then eventually like caved in and started to do that as well. I don't know, man. I don't know where they're going with this because I know that Seth wants to take some time off, but I'm just kind of curious to see if it's gonna be like like Buddy turns on Seth, and then like Seth gets written off because he gets injured. He gets taken to a local medical facility. By the way, that's another word I can't stand in WWE. The damn hospital. Just say it. I know Vince has like those keywords, like you can't call it a it's a championship. You can't call it a title or a belt. It's a championship. Damn it, you're repping a championship. And we don't go to hospitals. We go to local medical facilities. I hate it.
True. So
it's a meat wrap. Damn it. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, Vince McMahon never knew what a burrito was until like a few years ago. He just thought it was called a meat wrap.
Good shit right there. All right, so we come. Murphy turns around, he stomps up the cage. Dominic's music hits, and he rushes the ring and unloads on Seth. They hit the floor, and Rollins slams Dominic's face on the announcer's table. Rollins stomps away for a little bit while he's down. They go back and forth. Dominic had a lot of offense in this match, though, and I was really surprised on how good he really is. Like, we were talking about it a while ago, but he had a lot of he actually can wrestle, and he's pretty damn good, I think.
Yeah, he's had 4 matches in the last 2 weeks. They've all been against Seth Rollins.
But they're good.
I mean, he's a good wrestler, yes. Well, he's a good wrestler. But like, I mean, Seth Rollins is amazing. Like Seth Rollins can sell, he can deliver, he can make a person look good when they look. I'm sure if we saw Seth Rollins versus a broomstick, man, we would have thought the broomstick was gonna win. Like that's how good of a good of a wrestler I think Seth Rollins is. There's a reason why PWI rated him number 1 last year, and then his former tag partner, Jon Moxley, this year.
John.
It's not that podcast. We can't talk about that name. This is WWE.
We don't talk about AEW here. You're welcome, Chris Idol. So they wrestled and they hit and Dominic they hit the floor and Dominic had the advantage at that point, and then we went to commercial break. We come back and Seth had control. I don't remember much of this match. I do know that Dominic mounted Rollins in the corner with he hit him like 4 or 5 times, and uh went for the 619, but Seth got out of the way. What else do you remember of this match?
The frog splash. I'm just saying, Dominic's dad would have been so proud that he's using his trademark move.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
But-
You know what, the man? To be honest, man, the frog splash came in. Obviously, like he missed, got stomped, and what I really liked was like kind of the ending angle where you saw like the Mysterio family staring at the back, like at the TV, but they're just watching their kid get their ass kicked, and then you know, man, and then you see Seth like hitting a stomp and kind of finish off Dominic and then like leave. The one thing I think is funny, man, is we know that that's not realistic, Anthony. Because first of all, and I say it with my arms crossed, Latin moms don't just sit around and watch their baby get their butt kicked. They get involved.
They got a chancla.
Yep. You're gonna get. I'm not gonna lie. I may have gotten into a fight when I was 5 years old, got my butt kicked, but my mom held my fist as I was getting hit in the face like a rock'em sock'em robot. That's how I looked. And yeah, so I'm just saying, Latin moms don't mess around, man. They try to protect their kids. Like, it happens. So to see Angie in the back not want to do anything, you could tell like Rey Mysterio was like, the way he was looking at the TV, he was looking like this, but he was, he's looking this way, and he was just like, yeah, that's what's gonna happen. Just stay calm. Don't run out there. Just it'll be okay. It'll be okay. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Be fair, also, because we're Latin, and our families have been. Your mom's been crazy, and we've seen it. Don't you talk to him, Clifford. I remember. Anyways, but my family, like, if they're not coming out to defend you, they're hysterically crying over the situation. And Angie's not hysterically crying. She's like somewhat emotional, but almost emotionless. And it was just like, this is not accurate. Play the role right. Anyway, so after Seth hit Dominic with the second curb stomp, they show Shane McMahon and at the Raw Underground and Titus O'Neil beating up on one of the talent there, and then Riddick Moss comes in. And is it Riddick or Roderick?
Riddick Moss.
Riddick.
Yeah.
It is Riddick. Comes in and they battle out. They fall off the mat. Riddick slams Titus into the mat. Titus slams him into the shelves. And then at the end of it, you see Riddick Moss knocking out Titus O'Neil.
Yeah. After like Titus was like, they pumped up Titus like he was gonna be this big thing. We're gonna see a side of Titus that we've never seen before. And then Titus lost. And I was like, I've seen that side of him before. He's done it every time. He did get a win though. Like, shout out to Titus for getting a win. But yeah, like that was wild, man.
Yeah. So then they come back and we have the Street Profit promo backstage getting hyped up. Angelo Dawkins covers this big whiteboard, calling it the Coach Dawkins Scouting Report. And he has Angel Garza, Andrade, and Zelina Vega on there with do's and don'ts. And the best one there was the dig on Zelina Vega because she's not tall enough to ride the rides.
Yo, that was so mean. Like, it's so mean to say that she's not tall enough to ride on the roller coaster rides.
That was the best. So we go to break. Um, and we come back to a minivan pulling through the gates um of the parking lot, and you see the 24/7 champion Akira Tozawa and his van full of ninjas arriving, and
No. You're not doing it justice. No. We will not say it that way. That's not how it's going to be said. You know damn well what that man said, and you knew what he meant too. Okay. The man sitting there in the car, he gets stopped, and then the man goes, "You're not on a list." And like, who are you? He's like, "Oh, I'm Akira Tozawa, and these are my ninjas." And then he left a gap in there purposely, so you knew what he meant. You knew damn well what he was trying to get at. Damn WWE and the writing team knew exactly what they meant. And then, come to find out that the man checks. He says he's not on the list. Akira Tozawa says, "But I'm the 24/7 champion." And he holds up the title. And we come to find out that this man just keeps telling him, like, "You're not on the list." And then Akira Tozawa says, No, I got this, as he gets out the van. He looks at this man. He grabs a notebook. He starts flipping through the notebook. He's like, "This notebook is blank." Like, how many pages did you look through to notice that there was all blank pages? The man literally looked on the front page. It was like, "You're not on the list." I love the 24/7 though, man.
And then he like realizes, he like looks at him. He's like, unzips his coat. And he's like, sees the stripes, and he's like, and all of a sudden, here comes R-Truth, the best 24/7 champion ever, gets the roll up in the pin, and runs off.
I love the fact that the ninjas were like, "Boss." Like, they told him where he was, and he still got rolled up. And then the 3 count happens. And what happens next is I love that the first ninja like runs at him, and this you see R-Truth deck him. And then he said something else to Akira Tozawa, and I missed what he said, but then he like takes off running. And I was like, "Oh my god, that was
The best thing is that Akira Tozawa tries to open up the van. It's locked, so he has to go in and unlock it through the window, jumps in, speeds off, and leaves one of the ninjas there as he's running after the van.
But he threw the ref in the van."
Yes, he threw the
He took the
but then he had to like unlock it.
Okay, so low key, this is probably my favorite segment of the show. Now I'm thinking about it, I'm laughing more about it. I'm like, yeah, this was definitely what I needed. I was like, he just threw the ref in, and then that one ninja was just like, "Boss." So wild, man.
So we get back to the ring, and we have the tornado tag team match, the Street Profits versus Andrade and Angel Garza, which a lot of offense by the Latinos. That's what we're gonna call them. They attack Montez Ford, and then they just work on Angelo Dawkins, and it looked like they're gonna win it. And did you see the height when Montez Ford broke up that 3 count? He like jumped over Angel Garza to hit uh Andrade, and he had the height like none other. This is why he is my favorite wrestler right now, is because how athletic he is. Then he goes on a big run. Montez Ford does, and then he does the rope thing, and he's like, "It's on!" And then everything starts flickering out. And and then Retribution shows up. Well, no, right before that, Angel Garza takes Demi Burnett, and they leave through the crowd, and then Retribution shows up as he left Angel Garza.
Do you remember Demi Burnett? Like, do you watch The Bachelor?
No.
Yeah, so I don't remember her.
So Aaron. So my wife. Sorry, my wife. I have a ring. I have the
Fiance.
ring on too. My wife said that she was one of the bachelors, girls on the Bachelor that snuck out and slept with the Bachelor.
Oh, that's her. Okay. I was like
I'm like, I don't know. I don't watch that stuff.
I remember that now. Oh, okay. I was like, I know, but I was like, I don't remember her, and now I do.
So then,
Good call out.
um, so Retribution shows up and they surround the ring and surround Zelina Vega. And the best part of this segment is Zelina like looks around and she's like, "All right," and starts swinging. They all get jumped.
Dude, hold on. That look that she gave when those three girls, and I say girls because we knew they were female, when they went to surround her and she low key was like this, yo, she looked around at everybody and then she just threw her hands up and then started delivering hands to everybody. Did you happen to notice who one of those females were?
No,
Oh my God. I'm going to say it. I don't care. It's Mia Yim.
I don't know who that is.
Oh my God. We're going to fight, man. We're going to fight. Oh, I'm about to whoop that ass. I cannot wait to get to Lincoln. Beat the hell out of you. Mia Yim, that's the girl. She is dating Keith Lee. Actually, I think they're engaged. Anyway, they are a couple.
See why?
She's an amazing athlete, and she got the swag to her, and yo, she has her moves called break your neck or watch your neck. Yeah, watch your neck, and she's devastating, dude. She's so lit.
So we go to break. We come back. They show what Retribution just did, and then we go back to the Raw Underground where Shane hypes up Jessamine Duke, who is in the quote unquote. They call it the ring, but there is no rope. It's a platform.
Can we be excited about the fact that we get to see Jessamine Duke and Maria Shafir like both in here? I'm excited for it.
No,
Something's wrong with you then.
and here's why. They both had bad UFC careers. I don't care what you say. Huh?
They both had UFC careers.
Bad UFC careers.
Who cares? They made it. That's all.
If my thing is this, and I don't know if this, I don't know what the status between Ronda Rousey and the WWE is, but you're bringing this Raw Underground MMA street fight thing out, and you're not giving Ronda Rousey the chance. Not that I don't know what's going on with her, but you're giving Jessamine Duke time on the air over Ronda, and I'm like,
no, not at all. Can't agree with it. Not at all. Not 1 second. Yeah. So what? They had bad careers. You know who else had a bad career? Shayna Baszler. Guess what she's doing? She's tearing it up.
Shayna Baszler, I think, had 2 matches in the UFC, and they were all on the Ultimate Fighter.
You know what else she did? She lost to Amanda Nunes, and guess what? So did Shafir, so did Ronda, and so did Jessamine Duke. So I'm just saying, like, it doesn't matter, man. Just seeing the two from where they were 2 years ago, just kind of like there with the Mae Young Classic and the teasing of the 4 horsewomen of WWE versus the 4 horsewomen of MMA, or horsewomen of both their genres, and now seeing them getting the clash, and then seeing Shafir and Duke like in the underground. I like it, man, and it legitimately makes me like underground because you're getting some people who have legitimate talent in other fields than pro wrestling, and they're going in there and sheet fighting.
I just like Shayna Baszler because she's from South Dakota.
I mean, that's cool. You can like her because you're biased.
You're biased. Are you kidding me?
100% I am.
Anyways, so Jessamine Duke got a win, and she did. Those strikes looked somewhat convincing, and
convincing.
And like you could tell she wasn't throwing them like full strength like she would do in an MMA fight, but they looked like they were landing. So I'll give her that. She could probably be out there on the main roster wrestling. And then I always mess up Sharina's last name, so I'm not even gonna say it. Her and another girl get into it, and she lays that girl out. And then what happens next? Peyton Royce throws Billy Kay in the ring.
Dude, and then that look that she gave as she threw her in, she was just like, because they both made it seem like they were gonna both jump in, and then you saw like Peyton just grab Billy and just throw her in, and just kind of was like, whoops, what, I don't know what happened. And then like, yeah, from there, it was what it was. But I like the idea that obviously we're going to see, like I said, Billy's going to be like the comedy character where, Peyton's probably going to be like, well, that one who gets like the serious push. Makes kind of sense, I guess, in a way, because just Billy's like fake mannerisms like make her a comedy character, and I'm down with it.
I like it because yes, you're right with the Billy Kay comedy lay down. But you also get to see Peyton Royce turn her back on her, throw her in there, and I think that Peyton Royce is gonna get that push that you're saying, but as a heel instead of a face. And so I think that's what I'm more excited about.
I'm with it. I'm with it regardless, man. I love the fact that we're gonna get like the heel side of things going on, man. I'm okay with that. So bless up.
Okay, so after that we see Cedric Alexander and her business supposed to go down. We go back to the Raw Underground, and Cedric, Ricochet, and Apollo Crews are talking each other up. And the security guard lets them in.
Are we talking? We're going to go there. We're going to talk about Ricochet and Cedric and Apollo Crews. We're talking about this right now. Let me tell you what I really cannot freaking stand. I can't stand Ricochet. I cannot do it, man. Like WWE legitimately has made me not like Ricochet. Period. And you know why? It's because they're all three standing in this stupid circle, and then Ricochet looks, he goes, you know why, Cedric? Why? Because no money's gonna split up this brotherhood, this friendship. What is this, man? Is this a high flying bronies? Is that what we're getting? Friendship is magic? One of them gonna be Twilight Sparkle or Rainbow Dash? Like, I don't get it, man. Like, why are we ruining like these characters, these guys who have like this great persona about them? Like this great aura that they have going around them, and you literally gave them like child's lines to say. And I'm like, I can't believe this is a thing, man. Like, this irritates me so much. Because I was like, yo, Ricochet could be like this badass dude. Maybe he's not great on the mic by any means, but that's not the point. The point is that he's like this, he's a larger than life superhero, and you can give him like the quirky catchphrases to say and stuff. But at this point, man, like, you made him look like such a chump. I was like, I cannot take it, man. I can't stand it. I'm so mad. And then like Apollo, like, and the reason why Apollo gets a pass for it, right, is because Apollo has come out and he was like always like the smiling baby face, like the overzealous one. It's like, hey guys, like, check me out. And it's like, cool. Cedric, like, he still really hadn't had like a full character. And Ricochet was the one dude that, like, when you brought him up on the main roster with Aleister Black, you had this opportunity to take this one guy who's like, he can do larger than life moves. And if you watched him on NXT, like, he just had these badass things he did. The dude did a full front flip out of the ring, looked Velveteen Dream in the face and said, show me, because Velveteen Dream told him, I can do anything better than you. And like, you had these great moments with Ricochet. And then what did we do? Ever since we put him in a championship match against Brock Lesnar at the horror show last year, I say horror show because, let's be real, that's what it was.
It was.
That's where the downslide became. Like, then the next night you had him job out to Riddick Moss. He lost his belt. Why? I don't know. That don't make no sense to me. But then, like, everything just like started downfalling for him. And like, now we just waste him. Like, what are we doing? Build this man back up. Put this man back in the title picture. Like, he was a great United States champion. Sure, like, you're upset with his promo skills, but those will come. but put some weight behind him and let this man show you what he can do. Like, God, man, like you had him dressed as All Might from My Hero Academia, which for some of you guys who may or may not know, he's one of the big superheroes. And you blew him up. Like, I'm so mad about this, dude. Like, I
I
hate where Ricochet is right now.
Same, 100%. I loved Ricochet before the WWE, and now they're just like squashing him. But the one thing that caught my ears was Apollo Crews saying that he's not the same as in the past, he uh that he's gonna bounce back and he's not gonna stop until he going after Lashley until he gets his United States Championship back. And then that happened with Ricochet. And then they got hyped up and the guard let him in and then went to commercial. Um
All former United States champions, by the way, in case anybody didn't know, Cedric, Ricochet, and Apollo, all sitting in the same faction. And where's Mustafa Ali at? In catering, eating food while getting ready to, while having his match on main event. Like, man, like you just waste like such great talent. Like WWE really does not know how to book these guys to make them look amazing. If there was anything, man, WCW back in '97 and '98, like that was the one thing. Like, sure, maybe like the cruiserweights weren't like getting in those main event spotlights, right? And they should have because they were the most over thing on the show. And then of course you had your main eventers like come in as a like last 45 minutes, last hour. But that first hour, man, like you had all these great cruiserweights doing everything. You have a 3-hour show where you legitimately could have the cruiserweights come set the show on fire, right? Or your hot talents set the show on fire. You have the women's division that we've said numerous times can carry the weight of the WWE by themselves. And then you can have your big players like at the end, like your Keith Lees, your Aleister Blacks, your Kevin Owens, your Randy Orton. You can have those guys. And SmackDown does a decent job of it. But like, God bless, man. Like we just cannot put a show together to keep the fans interested because you don't know what you're doing. It's frustrating, man. I get so mad because I'm looking at Ricochet like, dude, you're wasting his talent. If you're not using him, man, just cut him. Cut him and let him go anywhere else because he's a talent, man. New Japan knew what they were doing with him. He was doing amazing there. And then AEW, I don't know how AEW would do with him, actually, honestly. Impact would do amazing things with Ricochet because he is an amazing talent. Like ROH would do great things. OTT, I mean, I know he can't travel to go to Ireland right now, but there's just so many other promotions that could use the talent like Ricochet and make that man into a megastar. And WWE's over here like, we'll just put him in a job squad over here. Hate it.
I agree.
Welcome to my TED Talk.
Facts. That's a hard one, and I think that I agree. I think one of the better things is to cut him and let him go to power. Power, he could do really good in power. Anyways, going back to it, we went to commercial break after the guard let the boys in, the men in, and we came back to find out who the guests for Raw Talk were. And that was going to be I'm calling it the Riot Squad, then Angel Garza and the Hurt Business. Then they went back to the Underground where you saw Apollo Crew pacing back and forth, waiting for Shelton Benjamin to enter the ring.
Again, like this is what we're doing. Like he's pacing around, like he's like, "Yeah, I'm about to go get this work in, dude." Like,
nope,
no, not gonna happen, man. And Shelton Benjamin was the only dude who was able to control Brock Lesnar. Let's put it out there. The only man to be able to control Brock Lesnar was Shelton Benjamin back in when they used to wrestle at the University of Minnesota. And like, so you mean to tell me that Apollo Crews is gonna be like, yeah, I'm a good guy, I can do this. Like, dude, like I get to shoot wrestling, I shoot fighting, right? I was just mad because I was like, now Underground is gonna piss me off because at least before, like those guys who were pretend to be baby faces, like those great dudes, like they weren't gonna be in that because they were gonna get their ass kicked. The pretenders that they're trying to push. Now you see like because look at Titus O'Neil, right? Titus O'Neil is a perfect example. They gave like some random dude to him and he squashed random dude. Then they put him with Riddick Moss, who's a dude who has legitimate wrestling and pro football background, and just he dominated. Titus, right? And I guess you could be like, well, Titus went to a D1 college. Yeah, cool. He didn't do anything else. So he got destroyed. That's why you don't see.
You went to the University of Florida. Thank you.
Whatever. He went to Florida. Nobody cares about the swamp thing. Anyway, so from there, we see like Dolph Ziggler's in there. Dolph Ziggler got a bunch of wins because guess what? Dolph Ziggler has a legitimate wrestling background from Kent State. We've seen Jessamine Duke, we've seen Shafir, we've seen Baszler, we've seen Eric and Ivar, which just Eric and Ivar being Vikings, they just look like they could be badasses, and they're doing it. And then you have the Hurt Business, which Shelton Benjamin, MVP being I think he's a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and then you have Bobby Lashley, who was a former Bellator, well, Strikeforce champion. Like, come on, man! Like, we can't be bringing these dudes down to Underground to squash them. That just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and I agree. But they go to the Underground and they exchange blows and they both fly off the platform and the two teams start brawling where Bobby Lashley and Cedric Alexander going at it. And then MVP takes Ricochet to there, and at the end of it, you see Shelton Benjamin and Apollo Crew go back at it, and they squash Apollo Crew and the Job Squad. That's what we're going to call it, as the Hurt Business stands tall, and Shane McMahon does what Shane McMahon says, and says, "The Hurt Business is all about business tonight." And
oh my God, the Bronies got destroyed.
They got destroyed, hands down. So then we go to the next segment where we see Angel Garza and backstage with Demi Burnett, asking why she asked why he abandoned Zelina Vega, and he insisted that he didn't abandon them, that he was protecting her, that he couldn't forgive himself if anything happened to them, and then the retribution comes out of nowhere.
First, I want to say, Demi, you need to get off of TV. Period. It's retribution, not restitution. Okay, let's get that right.
Or get your ass in the ring and wrestle.
No. She's gonna get beat. Okay, she's gonna beat. She's gonna get hurt. But she legitimately said, "I'm sorry." She didn't say restitution. She said restitution. That's what she said.
Well, retribution came out, and Angel Garza left her hanging.
Which this is why I noticed that Mia Yim was one of the women.
Oh, that's where you learned it.
Yeah, that's why I saw her, and I was like, that I legit I was like, that's Mia Yim. That's Mia Yim right there.
And then Demi Burnett turns around with Angel nowhere to be found, and she looks back at them, and she looks back, and she's like, "All right, I gotta go backwards. I'm out." So then we go to break, and we come back, and it's time for the triple threat main event for a chance at Drew McIntyre. The Randy Orton, Seth, and Keith Lee come out, and they're all getting ready for something, and Randy says, "Nope, I'm out." Drops down, gets out of the ring, and Seth looks at him and goes, "What are you doing? I thought we had a plan." And then Seth gets out of the ring to confront Orton, and Orton says, "I'm changing my mind."
Well, let's be real, okay? So Seth and Randy have both been pinned by Keith Lee, so it's appropriate. I think they both got. I think Seth lost to the Spirit Bomb too, back in Survivor Series last year.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
Well, I'm not going to go into full details, but the match end up they both get back in the ring, and Rollins puts a headlock on Keith Lee, and the power of Keith Lee is just incredible. He threw him to the ropes, and then Rollins tried to a big shoulder tackle, I guess. That didn't work. Anyway, so Seth Rollins he did get hit with the I'm calling it the setup powerbomb. I can't stand what it's actually called.
Okay, first of all, you need to know why it's called the Spirit Bomb. Okay,
Why is it called a Spirit Bomb?
it's called the Spirit Bomb because Keith Lee is a huge Dragon Ball Z fan. His favorite character is Goku, and Goku's biggest attack is called the Spirit Bomb. That's why it's called the Spirit Bomb.
That's so gay.
Or you could call it the last ride with a sit out. I don't care, but
It's called a sit out power bomb.
it's the Spirit Bomb, and you'll call it
Anyways.
that.
Anyway, so
Before that, though, I did want to say this because there was a part where Keith Lee went to dive over the top rope back into the ring, and Seth Rollins hit him with a super kick, and just Keith Lee died. he just dropped. That was amazing.
this is true. Keith Lee sells pretty decent too. Like even like the first match against Dolph Ziggler with that neck breaker, like he sat out on that perfectly.
Oh yeah, he's a ridiculous talent. Wait, if you haven't seen any of the matches that he did with like Dominik Dijakovic, like you should be watching those matches because those are ridiculous. And then he does a great job, man. I just like watching his stuff from PWG when he was wrestling Matt Riddle. Like, bro, like it was awesome.
Right. I do need to watch NXT because being part of the podcast, I definitely need to get involved with it. But I'll have to go back and watch more Keith Lee stuff. He hits him with the Spirit Bomb, and Randy Orton gets in the ring and RKO's him, hops over him, and pins Seth to punch his ticket into the next pay-per-view. Is it Clash of Champions?
Clash of Champions
against Drew McIntyre,
Sexy Scotsman.
the Sexy Scotsman. So there you have it. That's the Raw rundown. I didn't get to watch it last night, so I got to watch it today, and I watched it twice actually. I got to watch it on the USA Network, and then I watched it on Hulu, and I think that was like I'll give that like almost a 3.5 star. I actually did not mind the action, not the soap opera drama, but the action of the night actually was really good.
I'm gonna give it a 2.5, man. Like, to be honest, because I'm gonna include the soap opera parts, and I'm just kind of like, no, the dismantling of the Iconics, the emergence of the Brony Squad, and okay, mind you, I say that knowing that I like My Little Pony, so yes, I am a brony, but I'm not like they're jabronis. Okay, they're not very good. But that happening, Retribution like interrupting like the Montez Ford match, like that match was a great match. I just wish it would have finished. But I understand why they did it, but I was kind of like, I was just against it. And in Keith's first match with Dolph Ziggler, like all the selling that he was doing with it, especially if you're gonna put him in the main event, like if you're trying to say like he accumulated all that damage, and that when he went into the next that main event match he wasn't 100%, then that should have been what happened with Seth. You know what I mean?
Right.
But overall, I think 2.5. It wasn't a bad show. It wasn't a great one. And like I said, like the stupid like, we're all friends here. Assemble. Like I was like, God dang it, Ricochet, you make me mad.
Facts. All right. So with that being said, I am gonna post this right here, and this is the ProWrestlingTees.com is 20% off. So go purchase our gear and support your favorite podcast. But that was a Raw review. It was my first time running it, and you could probably tell I was a bit nervous, but we got through it. We did well. So with that being said, thanks to Clifford Red Dog Miller, the leader of the Dog Pound, for guiding me through. My name is Lou, aka The Franchise, and this is the Raw review presented by The 3 Count.
So tune into our next episode because there'll be one tomorrow, and be there or be somewhere else.